Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Kevin David Rail, Chief Fitness Advisor for Wild Warrior Nutrition. And today I want to talk about a topic that a lot of people may think I have no business talking about, but I think I absolutely do because I study this topic very well and very thoroughly, and that is fasting and women. Should they do it? Shouldn't they do it? What are the risks involved and what are the benefits? Well, there is a lot of research that is starting to come out now on this topic, and there are studies that I have been reading and looking at. And honestly, nothing that I've come across is 100% conclusive. And I say that about all genders out there. What works for me might not work for you, whether you're a guy or a woman or whatever you identify as out there in the world. Everybody is completely 100% different. First of all, know that fact, okay? Now, it's obvious that women have different hormonal structure than men do. And what I can do in the gym, not every woman can do it. What I do out on the streets with my mountain bike and my body and slacklining and different things like that, not everyone can do it as a female. Some can and some can't. And there are certain foods I can eat and other people can't eat, regardless of your gender. And that's the same way with fasting. There's no one-size-fits-all protocol for it, regardless if you're male or female. But specifically when it comes to females, there are some things and some red flags you want to look for. So, when it comes to fasting in conjunction with your menstrual cycle, you don't want to go hardcore fasting like the week before your menstrual cycle, number one, because it jacks up your estrogen levels worse than it already does when you're about to go through PMS, okay? Secondly, during your menstrual cycle, especially the first few days of it, you don't want to do any hardcore fasting then either. That's going to jack you up even more, and that pretty much is across the boards, okay? When you're done with your menstrual cycle, that is probably going to be your best time to fast. How long can you fast? It's really up to you. It's what you can tolerate. I always suggest you start out very short, 12 hours of fasting. If you're brand new to fasting, I would suggest 12 hours for everybody. Learn how to do 3 meals a day, 12 hours of fasting, and then slowly, gradually increase your fasting windows to 13 hours, then to 14, then to 16. And then once you get there, if you're doing 16/8 time-restricted eating, that is absolutely perfectly fine, and you could probably just truck along with that fasting protocol forever. But if you're doing something like alternate day fasting, where you have you do 3 meals a day, and then the following day you fast all day long for, say, 24 hours, or you take it into the next day and go 36 hours. You got to be a little bit careful when you're doing those longer fasts, because that's where your hormones can become out of balance. Your energy levels may go down, your cortisol levels may spike, and you might find it counterintuitive and counterproductive to do fasting. However, again, there are women I know who do 36 hours regularly, sometimes twice a week. Sometimes they do alternate day fasting, and they're totally, absolutely fine. And some of my clients have done it. I've been working with this friend of mine, Natalie, for years now with fasting, and she's as aggressive as I am with fasting. She regularly does 16 to 18 hours every day. She does 48 hours once a month. She might even do longer than that. And I've known many women that have done that too with great success. You also have to take into consideration, are you overweight? Is it that you're trying to balance your hormones? Are your hormones already out of whack and it's causing you problems with weight gain, or it's causing you sleep disturbances and everything else? Are you perimenopausal or postmenopausal and those kind of things? That will have a play in the whole fasting strategy as well. So again, we have to go and default back to the beginning. And I always say, dip your toe in the water with fasting, play it safe, go on the shorter side, and then slowly, gradually increase your fast as you go along and pay strict attention to how your body is reacting to fasting. I would even highly encourage you to keep a journal and write down exactly how you're feeling every single day whenever you're doing time-restricted eating or intermittent fasting or extended fast or prolonged fasts as well. And just to clear the record on this, I want to make sure you understand something. Intermittent fasting is not everything. There is intermittent fasting and there's this thing called time-restricted eating. So time-restricted eating, also known as time-restricted feeding, is when you follow a strict cycle every single day of the week that's a shortened window of time that you're eating in and a longer period of time that you're fasting in. So I mentioned earlier the 16 to 18 protocol, where you eat in a 6-hour window or an 8-hour window, and the adverse of that would be your fasting window would be either 16 or 18 hours. And if you do that every single day, all the time, that is called time-restricted eating. Intermittent fasting is more like you eat a normal diet on Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday comes and you do 1 meal a day. So you fast for like 22 to 23 hours or even 24. Then the next day you eat normal, and then you trigger another longer fast the following day. So when you're doing fasting like that, that is intermittent fasting. Or alternate day fasting is a form of intermittent fasting. It's like you're not following the same schedule every single day. So time-restricted eating is basically a form of intermittent fasting, but they're not exactly the same. I just want you to know that. So anyway, the bottom line is this. If you're a woman and you want to get into fasting, I highly encourage you to do so. Absolutely, if you're overweight, absolutely if your hormones are out of balance, give it a spin and give it a try. And talk to your doctor about it, your gynecologist. Tell them what you're doing. And most doctors, they used to be 100% against fasting. They're starting to come around now. I hope the day comes where they use it as an actual treatment plan for most people, because I feel fasting can reverse or stop any kind of disease or the aging process in its tracks, or slow it way down at least. And someday that may happen. It's not happening right now. We'll soon find out. But anyway, that is my take on women in fasting. I highly encourage you to do it. Give it a spin. Let me know how you make out. This is Kevin David Rail, Chief Fitness Advisor for Wild Warrior Nutrition. Until next time.